All right. Can you hear me? Is there audio? Is there audio? I went live a little early just to see if it was a botch. I had time to restart. Is there audio? Is there audio? That's the question. Is there audio? There is. Yes. Okay, sweet. Wow, it actually just worked with this mic finally and my actual laptop camera. I mean my Logitech, Jesus. Echo, what do you mean echo? There's an echo? Ooh, I tell you, this week's stream will be chill. Literally, not figuratively, not jokingly. It'll be literally chill because I have a killer headache. Why? Because I've gone off coffee this week. I was supposed to be off coffee last year. I got my nails done Reanimator green, by the way. I was supposed to be off coffee last year because of my acid reflux. I went off of it for 3 months. Wasn't cold turkey. I went down to a half a cup, and then I went to matcha, and man, the headache is real. The headache was real. There was a headache a day and a half ago that like laid me out. I just had to lay down. But yeah, cold brew helps. I will say cold brew helps. But my acid reflux is like very, very bad. And oh wow, 5-hour energies. Wow. Oh, I don't know about that. Olivia says hi, and that she'll be here next week. She's texting me right now. Oh, I'm on prescription strength acid reflux medicine twice a day. Have been for a very long time. I got an upper endoscopy, and they were like, "Hey, man, you're getting some. Yeah, you need to chill on coffee." Yeah, Nate, my acid reflux medicine doesn't really do too much. And also that upper endoscopy was not fun. Everybody said I wouldn't feel it, wouldn't remember it. I'd be passed out. And they said they do twilight sleep or twilight sedative, where you're kind of there and kind of not. I was fully there. And it was very uncomfortable. And I like have a hard time thinking about it. It was such an unenjoyable experience. They kept putting more of the sedative in me. And I remember the nurse was like, more. And the doctor was like, more. And then the nurse was like, we're at the top. We can't give him anymore. And the doctor was like, oh, okay. Well, then I guess let's just do it. And I was like, yeah. And they were like, just relax, just breathe out of your nose. I was like, oh, horrible sensation. Very, very weird. Felt like an alien thing. Pepsid AC doesn't help. Pepsid AC doesn't really do much, Yeah, I know. They should have just knocked me out for my upper endoscopy. I think I'm going to close the door, because if I was telling the truth, and this is a little secret, you have to keep it from Olivia, I wouldn't want the door open. I like a dark, chill stream. Do you know what I mean? I like a dark, chill stream. So don't tell Olivia that I let it be really dark in here for the stream. You sent the AI generated image on Instagram that you did for Onyx the Fortuitous. I will look it up. What is poppin'? Olivia's not joining tonight, but she'll be back next week. Where to begin? So we sent the edit off on Friday of last week. Oh wait, hold on 1 second. Getting a phone call that I have to pick up. Hold on. Yes, I'm on my live stream. Yeah. All right, bye. So, we sent off the edit to 2 festivals, and we have not heard anything. Fingers crossed we'll hear something. No, we did not send it to Shudder. The film is not done. Kickstarter rewards have not gone out, but I tell you what's in my car right now. The sticker packs ready to ship. I'm taking them to a friend's house tonight, who's helping me with the rewards. And we're going to start getting organized. So nothing from the festivals. We did not send the film to Shudder because Shudder, we would want to show them the completed movie. The movie's really not going to be done until September. The version now, the Mad Balls, Nate. I took the Mad Balls over to the storage unit for the Kickstarter rewards. They're there now. The film, I think some people, when they saw me say I'm finally exporting the movie, they think it's like done. The movie's not done. My edit is done. But I'm sure, as most of you know, there's a lot of work to be done on a film after the edit is locked. You know, there's so much sound work to be done. There's visual effects. There's score. There's score. What I was doing before this live stream was recording an audio commentary. I do shots of apple cider vinegar for my acid reflux as well. I can honestly say I have tried everything for acid reflux. I have done, chicory tea or whatever, or coffee. I mean, I've done everything. But thank you. So I was recording audio commentary for our composer, where I was just walking through the film, talking about what I imagine happening. What score I imagine happening where. Yes, I've had a food allergen panel done many times. Yes, I know everything I'm allergic to. Postum. What is postum? Oops, don't refresh this page. I'm live on this page. The hot beverage with warm memories. Whoa. This is something I have not had. Does it taste like... So why is this better? It's coffee, right? But it's better for acid reflux? It's roasted wheat. Pikey, my diet is actually as low acid as it can be. I've been dealing with acid reflux for so long. I know everything there is to know about my body and food allergies. I have done Viome shit tests that tell me what foods are good for me. I have done a full panel allergy test. I know absolutely everything. Amanda, good question. They have not shipped. They are still being made, but I did make the final payment on them just the other week. So, oh wow, Olivia Taylor Dudley is in the chat. You remember the day of my Viome shit test? Or the upper endoscopy day. Olivia is the one that took me to the hospital and drove me home. And when we were at the hospital waiting for my upper endoscopy appointment, on the television, they announced that the first case of COVID-19 had hit Los Angeles. And it was at a Kaiser Permanente, not at the one we were at. But anyway, oh, you know what? I have my magical talking stick, and I haven't been using it. Oh, shoot. Where is it? but the head fell off of it. But this is a really good thing. The reason the head fell off is because in the parody music video that we do in the film for Meatloaf, I bash mirrors with this. And when I did it, I broke the skull head off. So I still have the talking stick, but it does not have the skull. But it came off for a good reason. It came off on screen in the middle of the Meatloaf music video shoot. So now Olivia's here and she knows about the dark chill. That's right, Olivia. When you're not here, we go dark mode. We are in dark mode for the stream. Okay. Wow, I feel so much better now having my talking stick back. So there was a bunch of questions I just flew by. I've also done 23andMe. So where was I? Somebody said, will the backers get the movie in September? So this is that's a good question. Wait, also the toys. I'll get an update on the toys. They were paid in full. I've got this prototype, but that so far is the only one that has been made. But they've been paid in full. We should be getting them all soon. Sticker packs are getting mailed very soon. I know I'm behind. So I don't know when this is. I don't know at what stage the backers are going to get the film. I've got to work that out with whatever festival we get into. Hey, good job focusing, Logitech. Whatever festival we get into. Oh, the nails look good in this dark light, right? It looks almost like day glow. We got to see what festivals we get into and then what distributors are interested in the film. But the plan was always that the Kickstarter backers would get the film prior to an official release. I've said that from the beginning. I've told people involved that. So it is slime green and reanimator green, phone case green. I don't want the backers to have to wait until the movie's just officially out. Do you know what I mean? So my goal is that backers would see it prior to the movie being released. Does that mean that backers will see it in September? I don't know. QAB Andy Man, I know you're saying it sucks that non-backers will see it, but at the same time, you got to get the film. The reason backers backed the film was to fund a successful film. I mean, I think every backer would want it to have a successful festival premiere, right? And so you could get a call from Sundance and they could say, hey, I mean, let me just walk you through a scenario before you get too upset about the idea that a festival audience would see it before a backer audience. Yeah, Sundance. Okay, take this. When I got into South by in 2010 with a tiny movie that nobody cared about called Jimmy Tupper versus the Goat Man of Bowie, I got a call from South by Southwest that said, we saw your film, we're interested, but we saw that you had a screening in Maryland. I was like, what? Like, we Googled your movie. We saw a Facebook event page for Jimmy Tupper versus the Goat Man of Bowie. And I was like, whoa, it was a cast and crew screening. 30 people were there. And South by was like, okay, well, take down that event page. I said, okay. And I took it down. Imagine if Sundance calls and they say, hey, we really liked your film, Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. Has anyone seen this yet? Or will this be a premiere at Sundance? And I say, 2,500 people have seen it. Sundance would say, goodbye, click. Then there's no future for Onyx at all. So it's a balance. I want to keep all the backers happy. We also got to make sure the film accomplishes what it needs to accomplish. It's not a like binary thing though. You know, it's going to be a real nuanced give and take because I also don't want to make the backers upset. Y'all know I feel pressure from that. I'm not the type of creator that's ever been like, fucking everybody's mad at me. Who gives a fuck? I am stressed by how many people are upset that the rewards haven't been shipped yet, etc. So we're going to try to do it in a way that makes everybody happy. That's all. So, and we did hear some good news on the Decedent. I can't say much, but we're going to be finishing it. We're going to be finishing it. We're going to be pushing it through VFX and sound, and we got some good feedback on it. I'll just say that we got some good feedback that made us, be like, okay, we gotta really finish this thing. So I will say that. Somebody else had a good question in there. Well, I think it might have been Anthony. You had said that you're learning about the process. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people know what the process is, but here's where we are. Olivia and I are going to lock our cut next week. So we've got a cut. I think at this time last week, our edit was 1 hour and 57 minutes. Now our edit is 1 hour and 47 minutes. So we cut 10 minutes off that bad boy. And it's 10 minutes that I'm happy with cutting. I think it's better. I wanted to get it to 1 hour 45. I haven't been able to. I've sent it to some other friends this week, and they've also said, I don't know where you would cut. QAB Handyman, I've shown it to people that I trust, my producers, a buddy of mine that's a producer, some actor friends of one of my producers are going to watch it this weekend. Well, I don't think the director's cut is the shorter one. I want this thing to be 1 hour 45. I just don't know where to cut those other 2 minutes, Hubie. I just don't know where to cut those other 2 minutes, Hubie. If a streaming platform approached to have the film as an exclusive post festivals, which one do you think would be the best for exposure? I feel like Hulu would be really great for Onyx. They've done quirky comedies, right? Didn't Hulu have Palm Springs? Did Hulu have Barb and Star? And then they've got the TV show of What We Do in the Shadows. So I feel like Hulu's a good spot for it. Pen 15. I feel like they've got a little market on quirky comedies. So we're going to lock our cut. We're happy with this cut, but next week we're going to really sit and lock it. And we're going to say, this is the cut that's going out to our sound designer and going out to our composer. Well, A24 is not a streaming platform. They were asking specifically about streaming platform. So that's why I was thinking like Hulu. So yeah, but what's so funny? You talk about A24, and there's a world where it's like A24 would never buy the Onyx movie, but then there's a world where they kind of would or could. You know what I mean? It's a matter of how they choose to view it. You can choose to view it as an intellectual, absurdist comedy, or you can choose to view it as something lowbrow. I think it's something surprisingly emotional and intellectual wrapped in the skin of an 80s throwback. But, they've got Marcel the Shell. They've got Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is really slapstick and big and broad with an emotional center. There was something else they did recently where I was like, A24 is not that far away from a place that would actually like the Onyx movie. What was it? It was something else. What's another A24 movie? I don't think we would add film grain or anything. Hey, thank you, Rocket Sauce. I don't think we'd add film grain or anything like that. Hocus Pocus 2 is not A24. Come on. So, no, Men is definitely A24, like highbrow prestige. There was something came out recently, Marty, that was like A24 doing something that was way more comedic. Well, slasher, I mean, A24 did X, and X is a very just like by the book slasher, X is not mega prestige. It's just kind of wow, did A24 do Tusk back in the day, Cody? Is that true? Wow, really? That was during that weird period where it was just like, wow, is it A24? Yeah. Wow. Color me surprised. Yeah. So anyway, once we lock our cut and it goes to the sound designer and the composer, and our post supervisor is also our VFX supervisor. So they are going to be basically taking my edit, and it will be their responsibility to get all of the shots farmed out to the VFX artists. Ooh, I could show a VFX test shot on stream. Couldn't I? Couldn't I? Couldn't I? I think I could. Don't let me forget. I will do it. Let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. Where's the easiest place for me to find it? Okay, well, remind me, and I'll find the test shot from some VFX. It's a dark shot, but it'd probably still be cool to see. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, all right. I'll show that to some people. So then, while sound is beginning their work, and music and VFX, I am going to be finishing some editorial assets that are not the primary edit. Let me explain. At one point, something's on the television. I got to edit what's on that television, give that to the VFX artist. At some point, Bartok is working out to one of his workout tapes. I have to edit the workout tape together and send it to the VFX artist. We've got to get animation done for the Battle Cats. We see Battle Cats on the TV during the flashback. So, showing a test, make sure they know it's early and only a first pass. Of course I will. But you know, it's why, I mean, can I say that our VFX soup is in chat? I was just so happy with one of the shots that was sent over from our VFX soup that I would like to show chat, but it is a first pass and it's early. But I was really stoked by it. That's Jeremy, and he is our VFX soup, and he is in chat. Woo! So if you missed the top of the stream, Jeremy, I'm low energy this week because I've been going off coffee. So, but anyway, so next week we're going to lock the edit and we're going to start farming everything out to all the necessary parties. And while I continue to edit some of these assets that are going into screens, this is actually two birds with one stone, Jeremy. I have an animator working on the poker game that Masha's playing. I've got animators working on the Battle Cats animation. I've got a graphic designer that we all know, Tony, who did a lot of work during the campaign and during the film for a lot of Bartok merch. Tony's going to create the website, Bartok's website, that Onyx submits his video audition tape through. I downloaded an episode of Beverly Hillbillies that is public domain. From what I read, the first 35 episodes of Beverly Hillbillies are public domain. I went to a site that listed by episode what old TV shows were public domain. So supposedly episode 6 from season 1 of Beverly Hillbillies is public domain, and it's a Halloween episode. So I thought in the beginning of the film, when Todd is sitting watching TV and laughing, it'd be funny if it was the Halloween episode of Beverly Hillbillies. So I have that, Jeremy. I've got a list of all the little assets that I've got to get together. Website for Bartok, the submission page, which is the same thing. Oh, I'm getting a little cartoon of Bartok that pops out of an envelope and says, "Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations, congratulations." Kind of like, you didn't say the magic word, for when Onyx gets accepted into the contest. And I think that covers all of the assets that I need for screens. Obviously, there's stuff of Bartok on the screen in his intro at the mansion, but we have all that. Beelzebub Beef Up workout video. What is Todd watching on the TV? Beverly Hillbillies. Battle Cats animation, poker game animation. Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'll be doing once we lock our edit. I've got notes from some of my producers to look into before we lock the edit. So I think top of next week, Olivia and I are going to sit and go through each and every one of those notes. So let me show everybody. Yes, that is my Vespa in those videos, but it was stolen and it won't be in any more movies. So at the end of the film, spoiler alert or not, Onyx, a hell pit opens up, a giant pit that goes into hell. So Onyx at some point is standing over that pit. That's all I'll say. He stands over that pit. And he might utter a catchphrase from a past Onyx video. What could somebody might know this if they watched the live stream when I did the script read. But what do you think Onyx would say whilst looking down into a deep hole? What might Onyx say? Past quote from an old Onyx video. I'll see if anybody in chat knows, but this is the test early pass from our VFX team. Let's see if it'll focus. Okay, wait, I know what I need to do. Sorry, I need to turn down my brightness. And I need to turn down the brightness on the computer so that it's not reflecting in my phone. And then we'll get a better look at this. Don't be mad at me, Jeremy. We'll get it. We'll get it. Can you see that? Look at Onyx looking down into that hell pit, right? Ooh. Is that too dark on my phone? Hold on. And yes, the right answer is, hi, I'm Onyx. No, the right answer is, how deep does that hole go? Whoa, come on now. How deep does that hole go? Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So super stoked on that and other things. And actually, Jeremy, I'm supposed to be giving notes on the frame IO pass, which I was going to do today. Looks great. Looks great. So yeah, once the edit is locked, we're into sound, color, VFX, music. I might go to Nashville. I might go to Nashville to sit in on some of the score once they feel like they've got enough for me to listen to. Our composers in Nashville might go there. I don't know why I slipped into a George H. Bush. Might go there. Huh? Not gonna do it. Not at this juncture. I might go to Nashville. I've been listening to the Dana Carvey, David Spade podcast a lot. Maybe that's rubbing off on me. That was in the same video where Onyx says, if I die, that means he's dead, and I'm okay with that. What joke was that? What was that? If I die, that means he's dead, and I'm okay with that. What was that from? That's something Onyx said? Yeah. I'm super excited to get started on score. I love seeing VFX stuff come in. That's the stuff that makes it's so weird. There's like all these stages of the process, and when you experience them, you're like, that feels like a movie. There's certain stages of writing where a certain draft all of a sudden feels like a movie, and you're like, that's it. That's the movie. There it is. But then you start casting, and you see a certain actor, and you're like, that's it. They make the movie. Now there's a movie because of them. And then you get on set, and you're like, now it's a movie. It's a movie. All these different stages of kind of making it feel like a movie, but there's nothing like the finalizing, the finessing. Oh, the VFX, the color, the sound. That's the stuff where you're like, now it's a movie, you know? Now it's a movie, but you're in a good place if it felt like a movie before that, you know? I've had some people watch this work print and they're like, it feels like a movie. That's a good sign. That means it kind of has the bones of a movie, even before it has the skin. Somebody said, are there any goofs and gaffs you left in? Wow, there are for sure. There's actually a Oh, it keeps focusing on the mic. Is that what you're saying? Well, focus on me, camera. There was actually a mistake that I realized very early on, and I was like, there's no way around it. And I left it in. Shoot, what was it? What was it? I left something in that's technically a mistake, but I was like, that's a fun Easter egg. Shoot. I don't remember what it was. It's not detrimental to the plot or to the viewing experience, but it is a mistake. Oh, here's something. But I don't know that anybody will track this. But like, I'm supposed to wear a crystal early on. This won't matter. Nobody will understand this. I'm supposed to wear a crystal early on that's a certain shape, and I wore the wrong crystal for like 2 scenes, and there's close-ups of it. And then for the rest of the movie, I'm wearing a different shaped crystal. That you could track that. Like when I first put on a crystal, there's like 3 prongs to it, and then the rest of the movie, I'm wearing a crystal that's more of just like a kind of solid rock and not 3 little prongs of crystals. Who's going to notice that? Maybe nobody, but I just said it. That's something that's in there. I'm a real continuity hound. Some may say too much. Continuity informs my edit. Some would say too much. Jeremy, there's a lot of fix it and post. I'm sure, as you have seen while you watch the cut, there's a lot of fix it and post. But I don't want you to swap out my crystals. You can leave the crystal. That can be a nice little Easter egg of a continuity error. Cinema Sins will tear Onyx a new butthole. But there was something else like that, like a shirt that was different. We caught most things on the day. We almost shot an entire scene with the character Mac being in the wrong clothes. In fact, we did one take with them in the wrong clothes, but we got it right. There was something else though that I was like, dang, hard glitch, staying in. I don't remember what it is. I'm sure when I rewatch the film next week, I'll remember. Hocus Pocus 2 brought back the original composer. That's tight. That's great. I watched the trailer for Hocus Pocus 2. I'm into it. I hope it slaps. Did any of my clothes come from an actual Hot Topic? Yeah. I believe the red striped hand gauntlets and the black arm gauntlets, they might be from Hot Topic. Everything else was like ordered from Trip New York, TRIPP. Well, his pants were bought from a raver store on Melrose. Continuity throws me. I tell you what, I've been trying to watch the new Jurassic World on demand. It's like on demand now. The continuity is, I feel bad for the editor because it's how it was shot, but there's a scene early on between BD Wong and Campbell Scott where BD Wong in the wide shakes his head and puts his head down in his arms, and then it cuts and he's like this. And then the next cut, he's like doing it again. And then it cuts and he's like this. And I mean, there's a couple things going on there. One, I feel like you could have received bad direction. You could have been told, hey, do that head lean on this line. And then 3 takes later, you could have been told, actually, do the head move on another line. So that could be direction. That could be bad direction. But it could also be the actor not keeping track of their own physical continuity. And let me just say, I treasure an actor who tracks their own physical continuity. Now, I'm not, plenty of actors would say, hey, that's not my job. And also, I just don't perform that way. I'm going to do a take where I'm holding this up on one line and another take where I'm playing air guitar with it. If you watch Judd Apatow films, you can tell they've been told, don't worry about continuity. I am a stickler for it. I love cutting on action. I love using action to hide cuts. It's my favorite thing. Do I overcut? Probably. I'm a little choppy. I'm a little cutter when it comes to editing. Studio 666, continuity errors. Interesting. Yeah. I never watched Reaper. There's a lot of continuity stuff in Back to the Future, for sure, but there's a lot of scenes that are real smooth. There's a lot of scenes that are real smooth, but there are a lot of continuity errors. That's a movie I watch so much that I see every single continuity error, for sure. I created Onyx in 2012. But anyway, Jurassic Park World Dominion is dumb. I mean, there's no point of even talking about it. I think everybody said it was dumb, and it is. Are there satanic symbols in the movie? Yeah, I mean, this is the clip that this is the hold on. Oh. You know, this is what's worn on our collars. That's a satanic symbol. If you want it to be. There's a lot. There's nothing like weird and secret and hidden. It's all very overt. Just pentagrams, you know. Yeah, Seamus. They almost had to gaff tape Crispin Glover to the chair in the school scene because he jumped too much. Yeah, there's a scene on the front lawn when he's talking to Marty where they had to literally build like a little structure to keep him from moving out of frame because he kept moving out of frame. So they built a fence for Crispin Glover. Like in the moment, Zemeckis was like, we gotta like literally box this dude in, and some grips, like, or maybe it was some art department people, some scenic people put together a little fence to keep him in the frame. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I watched the Munsters trailer. Not only did I watch the Munsters trailer, but I also went back and started watching the TV show The Munsters because I never really watched the Munsters. And because of the Rob Zombie trailer and everybody freaking out about it, I went back and just started watching the Munsters. I've watched like 5-6 episodes of the Munsters this week. And I'm loving the original show. And it's weird that I never watched it. I don't watch Resident Evil stuff. I've never been into Resident Evil, so I won't be watching that. Black Phone I will be watching this weekend. I might try to convince some friends to watch it tonight, but I'm getting together with some friends that don't like horror films. So if you're saying it's not scary, that's good. Maybe I can get them to watch it. You said it's more like Lovely Bones. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe I can get them to watch it. Well, that's the thing. I was an Addams Family guy. And for some reason, I always thought that Addams Family came first and Munsters was a ripoff. And in a way, you could say that, but only because the Addams Family existed first as the comic strip. But it wasn't a TV show first. They were both TV shows at the exact same time. Can you believe it? Am I an idiot? I didn't know that. They were on the air at exactly the same time. And they both aired for 2 seasons. So wild. And the premise is relatively the same, right? It's just a weird family lives in a normal neighborhood. They really, really like hit the same beats. They're all about the neighbors not understanding them, you know, that the mailman thinks they're weird, right? So interesting. But I will say, this is going to be a very basic observation, but Fred Gwynne rips. Like, there's something about Fred Gwynne. What's so funny is he hadn't been working on that character. Universal Monster Beverly Hillbillies, totally. And yet, Herman is like a really, really funny, well-developed character. It's really, really fun. Fred Gwynne is like popping in it, doing a whole bit, you know, it's so funny. This is, I'm going to say, I mean, I'm a guy who discovered the Munsters in 2022, so forgive me, but, that kind of straight man, father knows best, guy next door, everyman playing it like that, but in Frankenstein makeup is so good. It's just a good bit. It's so good how normal he plays it. What's interesting is Grandpa has a fake nose for the first few episodes, and they get rid of it. And I looked it up, and they say it was because Al Lewis kept dipping his nose in his coffee when he would take a break. But also, the fake nose is like pointless. It doesn't add to the character. Marty, you had a crush on Herman. I can see having a crush on Herman. I can see having a crush on a lot of characters on the Munsters. And they're also charming, and they feel, in a weird way, more inviting than the Addams Family. There's something that's more like cozy about the Munsters, their house and their world, than the Addams Family. And I don't know what that is, but they have like all these breakfast scenes where they're in an early episode, they're getting a love potion put into the porridge because see ya, Hunter, because they're trying to get Marilyn to have a boyfriend, and but then Herman and Lily wind up eating the love potion. Anyway, but I just want to sit and have oatmeal at the breakfast table with the Munsters, with Eddie in the cabinet, Grandpa doing some experiment in the basement. Okay, so that brings us to the Rob Zombie Munsters trailer. Now look. There's a lot going on. I agree with the internet's response to that trailer. I think it was a poorly cut trailer, and I think it didn't showcase the best bits of what might be in that movie. I agree with that. I'm a bit surprised by how many people were so eager to dump on it, just because, like, I thought we'd all kind of come around on Zombie. Like, we don't love what Rob Zombie has done to Halloween, etc. But we also, I'll just speak for me. I appreciate his vision, that he does what he wants to do. That's becoming increasingly more refreshing, right? With how homogenized content has become. So, yeah, Cody, I agree. It was a real random collection of clips. It didn't feel like a structured trailer. And when you take just certain clips, you can see there's a fun trailer to cut in there. But I think it's confusing in a lot of ways. One is, so it's an origin, like Grandpa doesn't want Lily to be with Herman. It's so right away, you're not giving us a clear premise. It's just like the Munsters. And I do think it looks cheaper than Cheap on Purpose. Like, there's certain shots where I'm like, hey, boy, they look like they just like went to someone's house in North Hollywood and shot on their doorstep with no lights and no crew. So there's something wonky in there, but his movies normally have a purposefully cheap feel or a purposefully quick feel. But this one looks like it's being hurt by that aesthetic, because while I'm watching the old Munsters show, it's really beautiful. It's very simple, straightforward sitcom lighting for the most part, but sometimes there are scenes that fall into shadow, and there's interesting shapes on the wall because of a harp or cobwebs. There's still interesting things going on visually, but this trailer, it looked like, I know somebody said a porn parody, somebody said a fan film. It was in that space. And I'm sure some of it's intentional, but I don't know. That's a hard style to parody without it ultimately just looking bad. So I'll give it a shot. I think there's a better trailer to be cut out of even what they've accomplished, what they've shot. There's a better trailer to be cut. That was just a bad trailer. but it doesn't mean the movie won't also be bad. I do worry because I'm watching the original and I'm just like, man, they are also comedically dialed in. And I don't know that Sherry is as comedically inclined as Yvonne DeCarlos, the original Lily, right? That's her name, Yvonne DeCarlos. I mean, you got Fred Gwynn, you got Al Lewis. They're so dialed in comedically, and I would argue Dan Roebuck is dialed in comedically. I think he's a really great actor, and the same for Jeff Daniel Phillips. Like, that guy's really good and really funny. So I worry that there'll be an imbalance between the ensemble because I don't know that Sherry's ever really shown chops for comedic timing. I mean, she's, a funny presence in the zombie movies, but that sitcom timing is something that you really that's hard. The way that stuff is scripted and the way that stuff pays off. I mean, every scene ends with a beat, a button, big laugh. Whether they land or not, they're structured to end with a clear button. And I don't know that Zombie really has that skill set as a writer. He's more like freeform. Did he write this one? Let me see. Did he write this one or did he just direct it? Let me see. The Munsters. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he wrote and directed it. Copy. Okay. Yeah. Man, I'm looking at pictures from it. Wow, they rebuilt that house. That's so cool. I mean, I like Jeff Daniel Phillips, and I like Dan Roebuck. I don't know about Sherry. Who else is in it? Oh, Jorge Garcia's in it. Oh, that's right. He's in the trailer. Cassandra Peterson's in it. That's fun. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it will be a Munsters movie by way of Rob Zombie. So it'll be what it is destined to be. It's interesting that they chose to do it in color. There's something that's so nice about the black and white. Oh, this is not Michael Berryman. This is the character from RoboCop that gets turned into acidy sludge and then hit by a car. What was Here Come the Munsters? Was that like a sequel series or something? My favorite classic monster is probably the creature from the Black Lagoon. Somebody said, did I write the Onyx movie with trailer moments in mind? I did not. But I will say when we shot the movie, I would clock certain moments and I'd be like, oh, that's a trailer moment. One moment is they talk about this grand grimoire, and it's an old spell book, and Mr. Duke says, bound in the wait, hold on, let me take it again. I fucked it up. Bound in the skin of fallen angels. That sounds like a trailer line. Mr. Duke's given any of the trailer lines. Mr. Duke is the one that says that will lead them one step closer to the talisman of souls. That's a trailer line. Mr. Duke saying, there's something else from Mr. Duke. In a world. I think, and an editor friend of mine named Matt, who's been texting me, let me see. Let me text him back. He's going to cut a little trailer. And I said in the style of Gremlins or Goonies, you know. Shane Black says he has a trailer in his head before he even writes a movie. He probably means like, meaning he knows what the 3-minute pitch is before he writes the movie. I mean, maybe he literally means I picture a trailer, and that's fine. Because his movies are very concise, and I like a lot of Shane Black movies. Yeah, I mean, I know once I write the script what the trailer will be. Yeah, there's a little hint of Necronomicon text, for sure. I haven't done the Stranger Things spoiler talk. I don't know. I can just say I was disappointed. I don't like that, you know, it all ends the same way. It just ends with 11 going, you know, it's just, I wanted everybody to do something different. And the whole team that geared up to go into the Upside Down, spoilers, okay, for Stranger Things, okay? Ready? Spoilers. The whole team that geared up to go into the Upside Down did fuck all. They got fucking stuck in a stairwell. I mean, it's like nothing paid off. Everything, it's so complicated and it doesn't need to be. And also, I fucking love Eddie, but he didn't even need to sacrifice himself. Nobody was asking him to get them more time. They didn't need more time. Do you know what I mean? They were all stuck in a stairwell. And Eddie's like, okay, we got the bats, but I'm gonna get them some more time. Well, no, Ed, you don't need to, my guy. Okay, cool. So it wasn't even like, I won't say what, but the finale of Severance had such clear-cut stakes, you know, so that when they did the finale and everybody was doing the big finale thing, you could track it. Yeah, but the weird thing is that whole thing of like, we had to show that Eddie didn't run from anything. That was always weird to me, that Eddie was like, I ran. And I'm like, well, yeah, you ran from a dead person. I didn't feel like Eddie's story arc was that he needed to go from like coward to hero. Eddie was kind of always baller. He was tight and did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. They really shoved, that was very forced to me, that the fact that Eddie was like, I'm not a coward. I didn't run, did I? Yeah, we never really thought you did, my guy. You're like a big cool metalhead, you know? Eddie, yeah, love the stuff. Oh, and then like also, dude, I mean, everything. There's the mind fight that's happening in Max's mind. There's the Upside Down, but that's not the mind. The mind is a different thing than the Upside Down. And then there's the regular Hawkins. Boy, so confusing. And it all just came down to 11 being like, one more time, Claire. And then but he's not dead. Okay, cool. Squaggle, gaggle, gaggle, gaggle. I'm like, come on. And also, they burned through all their beats. What is season 5 going to be? You've already had 11 lose their powers, get them back. You've already had these epic showdowns with all these big songs. What are you going to do for season 5? God, it's just going to have to be like the whole town's involved, and it's going to be like the army. And I'm sorry, but if you've made a show and it's Stranger Things, and you spend 1 fucking minute on people fixing a helicopter, you fucked up. You fucked up. Stranger Things has an ability to take time with stuff that you shouldn't take any time with. You know? I said it before, but breaking open that doll, that's going to be, to me, the way people say jumping the shark, we need to use that term when it comes to breaking the doll. Sometimes shows spend time on things that you shouldn't spend time on. Hey, I got this doll. I think it's from Hopper. It's got a secret message inside. Got the secret message. Not, how do I break into the doll? 18 minutes on breaking into the doll. 18 minutes on fixing a fucking helicopter in Russia. Not only fixing the helicopter, 15 minutes spent on convincing the guy to fix the helicopter. 15 minutes spent on fixing the helicopter. And then we wonder why these episodes are 2.5 hours fucking long. Hopper got out of that prison 3 times and went back 3 times. Who's writing that and thinks that's the proper structure? So he gets out, okay? And they get him right back. But then they break out, right? Then he's got to go back. Meanwhile, we're all sitting here like, get Hopper out of fucking Russia. Dear God. I think, hear me out, I think the Duffers want a bigger show in scope than their premise will support. They should focus on Hawkins and the Upside Down and keeping it there. But they want to do an episode that's like the Terminator, and they want to do an episode that's like a spy thriller, and they want to do an episode they said this was their Game of Thrones season. And I'm like, dude, hey, maybe not. Maybe Stranger Things should never have a Game of Thrones season. Because what does that mean? That means you got to send Hopper to Russia just to get your Game of Thrones season? Or send the kids to California for fuck all? You send them to California to make them drive back to Hawkins. Holy fuck. That's not Game of Thrones, dude. Game of Thrones isn't just randomly putting people far away and then watching them have to travel back. That's like Game of Thrones for dummies. Holy shit. Stranger Things as a premise should not be what the show is now. It just shouldn't be what the show is now. It just isn't. I mean, it just shouldn't be. Max is great. I love Max. I was a little bothered. I mean, like, I don't know, whatever. You put an actor through and an audience through Max getting her fucking limbs broken. And then it's just like, but she's okay. Squaggle, gaggle, gwaggle, gwaggle. Well, she's okay. Well, so you didn't, and Millie Bobby Brown was like, I don't know why they don't kill people. They should kill more people. And the Duffers were like, we're not Game of Thrones, honey. And I'm like, wait. Y'all are the ones that said you were Game of Thrones. So, and I agree with Millie. There's a certain amount of characters that just have plot protection and that makes the show feel like there's no stakes. So you got to bring in Eddie just to kill off Eddie. Okay, so you bring in Billy just to kill off Billy. You bring in Bob just to kill off Bob. You're not doing anything with the core crew. That would be fucking devastating if Max had actually died. It would have been devastating if Max had died in season 3. And fuck, you bring back fucking Papa just to kill him like Defoe in Platoon? Who's asking for that? Who was asking for Papa to A, come back, and B, have a Defoe send-off? What they're mixing so many of their inspirations that they're hurting their own creation. They should know what Stranger Things is to where they can say no to the Terminator of it all. They can say no to the spy thriller of it all. They can say no to the Platoon references of it all. But they can't, I would argue, because ultimately Stranger Things isn't much of anything as an original creation. It is too pastiche to really be anything original. Season 1 was almost original, but season 2, 3, 4, there's just nothing there. There's great characters, there's great iconography, but it's not a wholly original piece. It is too pastiche, it's too homage for its own good. Someone in that writing room is trying to make it a better show, and they're just not doing it. I feel like the Duffers are like, no, let's keep this fucking messy as fuck and overstuff this bitch. They're just like, I don't know, man. They're fucking hound dogs for overstuffing shit. They're like the Bumpus's hounds in Christmas Story, dude. They want that turkey. They want that stuffing, dude. They want that stuffed. Anyway. You want to see a Bowser Kids on Bikes movie. I don't know that I have that in me. As much as I love Spielberg and love Amblin, truthfully, those were not, those aren't the things that get me going. It's the weirder stuff that gets me going. It's the Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I've said this before, and I don't know if I've said this on stream. I am more of a Zemeckis bois than I am a Spielberg bois. For me, I could still be Andrew Bowser without E.T., without a lot of Spielberg. I wouldn't be who I am without Back to the Future and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. You could probably even take the Jurassic Park out of me, and I'd still be whatever filmmaker I want to be. Indiana Jones, too, even though arguably Indiana Jones is one of the films that made me want to be an actor in the first place. But as far as my like creative DNA, it's far more Zemeckis. It's Tales from the Crypt. It's even like Death Becomes Her. So weirdly, I don't know if I have the like little kids on bikes movie in me. I love Jaws, but I don't know that Jaws was as formative for me. Yeah, used cars. Used cars in 1941. You can't take those out of my DNA. Love Tales from the Hood. Loved Cool World, but even as a kid, I was like, this is like the less good Roger Rabbit. You also can't take the Joe Dante out of me. That's the thing. If you take Joe Dante away, I disappear like I am Marty McFly in the Polaroid in Back to the Future. Okay. Like this Polaroid. All right, y'all. It's been an hour. We got a rant in there. We are good. We are good. We talked with our VFX soup. We showed a little preview. We got the movie down to an hour and 47 minutes. Next week, Olivia will be back. I said this would be chill, QAB Andyman, but I couldn't stay chill because the talking stick got me going. Thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you all next week with Olivia. And we will have locked our cut and started farming stuff out for sound and music, right? That's pretty chill. That's exciting. That's exciting. Wrapped the film in Massachusetts at the end of April, wrapped in LA first week of July, full cut, locked mid-July. That's pretty cool. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'll see you next week.